Ladies and gentlemen and fellow humans, welcome to Stranded Survivors. My name is Matthew, and I am one of your co-hosts.
My name is Jericho. I'm a co-host of the Stranded Survivors podcast, and today we are talking about Community Crunch 393. There's a lot of big surprises that Ark came out with this, and we're just going to unravel them all today. But first off, let's start off with Matt. How are you doing?
Man, you know, I had everything all planned, but I'm all frazzled because I called myself Matthew, so I don't know how I'm doing. I don't know. Things are weird now. They're good, man. I am exceptionally exhausted. The first couple weeks of classes has been kicking my butt. I got a full load on my plate, man. Got lots of stuff going, quizzes and tests and papers to write and stuff already. So definitely lacking in the free time, which stinks for getting things done in Ark. I haven't really been playing Ark too much. I've been playing Pal World now that came out, and I'm just sort of trying to relax and take the stress off here and there when I can. What about you, man? How you
Yeah,
been?
that's understandable. Honestly, I've been pretty good. I'm going to go out this next coming weekend here, going to a bachelor party at a wedding that I'm in. So that'll be very fun. And then just gearing out stuff for that. And then honestly, I've been playing a ridiculous amount of Ark. Maybe not on the PVE server. I've been playing a lot of PvP, man. And honestly, PvP is still as brutal as it was when I used to play as a lot of it. But man, it's still fun. Like a lot's changed in the meta of PvP, There's a lot of just building underwater, like underwater caves and building in caves. That's honestly the only people that survive. Very rare do you see people somewhere else building. But overall, I've been playing a lot of PvP unofficial. It's been very fun, very stressful because it feels like you have to be on all the time, like we've talked about before. But other than that, man, I'm doing good. I didn't have to work this last weekend. It was my normal weekend to work, so I'm doing good.
Hey, that's always a win.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So, hang on, I gotta backpedal real quick. You're talking PvP meta has changed to building underwater in like underwater caves and stuff like that. Are
Yeah, that's just like all it is.
are these caves that you can like build in an official, or is this like a cave building access enabled? Because I know some caves you can, some caves you can't. So can you shed some light on what that looks like?
Yeah, it's all underwater bases and stuff or caves you can build in on official or like whatever. You can play them where or you can build in them wherever. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I did use the word change. I know people used to do it, but when I first started Ark, it used to be let's build on a pillar, let's build whatever, like because you weren't able to build in caves. So it's just a different meta. And I mean, I don't know. Underwater's kind of boring.
Yeah, boring or sketchy.
Yeah, that's true. You don't like underwater, but honestly, like I've been like just recording, spare gameplay just to kind of record, have some stuff for our YouTube channel for when we post a podcast, and I just started to notice there's a lot of just underwater, and you're either swimming on a dolphin, you're swimming on a shark, like you're just swimming for like an hour underwater in some of these caves. I just it's very boring and time consuming to me, and I just waste so much time swimming.
Yeah, that would be absolutely awful. You had mentioned going like 5 to 10 minutes to even get to your
Mm-hmm.
base, and that right there is super tedious. That you lost me already at that point. I mean, you gotta have easy access to the base. So, not only having to go underwater loses me, but the fact that I have to like go on a whole voyage underwater. Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, it's very. I am ready for Center and even Scorch to come out. It'd be a lot of fun. But something I really also wanted to bring up very quick is there was a statement made in the last podcast that I think we said that Songbird made it, the Harry Potter thing in Ark, but it was actually Fire Pumpkin. So we just wanted to apologize a tiny bit for that. So we're sorry, Fire Pumpkin. But so we just had to say that. But other than that, Matt,
Sorry.
you know, there's a lot of news on the community crunch this week. Is there anything that you kind of like is the biggest topic to you, or do you just kind of want to go down the list?
So I could sit here and cherry pick all day. There was a lot of big news, but I think it would be easiest to just go down the list. That way, for organizational purposes, that way we don't miss anything.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. So let's start off with this. They start off with welcome to another edition of the Community Crunch. Hey, survivors, we're back with a few episodes and a few new surprises too. Let's raptor pounce right into our plans for January 31st that will ignite your creativity and fuel your adventures. No, that's already just a banger start in general.
Yeah, good writing. Whoever wrote that, shout out, high five.
Yes. So the first thing that's announced is going to be the Simple Game Framework or the Ark Development Kit. They're excited that they're going to announce a date for the upgraded Ark Development Kit with an eye-catching side-scroller mod example on January 31st. We'll be releasing an update to the development kit, more ways to bend your Ark imagination with features that were previously locked away at your fingertips. So, and then what they do is they show this video of a thing called Super Ark Bros. It's literally just like Super Mario Bros, except with things in Ark. Like you're jumping, you're trying to dodge Plant X. You can kill dodos. You can pick up stone picks, stone hatchets. You go through like little Ark buildings. So what they're saying with this simple game framework or the Ark development upgrade is you're able to build anything you want. Like for example, like I'm pretty sure you can build like The Sims in Ark now because this is like kind of like what Fortnite did for say, and you can like build your own game inside of Ark.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
like it's
pretty
gonna be
solid.
insane. Yeah, that's like insane for the people that know how to do that. Like, I'm excited to see what these people come out with.
Yeah, there are some real smart people that I'm sure already have some really awesome plans, and I'm very intrigued to see what direction it's gonna go. There's a lot of possibility that can be done with that.
Oh yeah. Honestly, if you could like put one game, like if you could make a game inside of Ark, what would it be?
Man, honestly, my mind is like currently fixed on the whole Mario thing because this reminds me of the whole like the Mario Maker game if you've ever played that. So my mind immediately is like fixated on saying all these Mario things, but I think there's a lot of good possibility to make like Survival of the Fittest is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, they did a great job when they made it, but I think if they did like a PUBG or a DayZ version, maybe Rust or something like that, but in the Ark
Ooh,
world with those types of mechanics, I think that would be really fun. What about you?
would be very interesting. You know, I the top of my head, you know, I'm kind of going like, I wonder what a like sports game would be like with dinosaurs or something. I don't know. Like, you imagine have the like the
Oh,
Giga not a the rap or the Giga ape thing being like either your lineman, linebacker, or something.
dude, could you? Okay, now I changed my answer. Now that you got me thinking on the sports track, that would be so much fun. Could you imagine? Like, remember,
Yep.
the old polo where they were on horses and like croquet on horses, pretty much. Man,
Yep.
imagine
Yep.
that on the back of Raptors. How much fun that would be.
Oh, that'd be awesome, honestly.
Man, I'd play
Yeah.
that Rocket League in the back of Gallimimus or something.
Oh my gosh. Or you play like with tech back or tech and you just play like with a like soccer kind of. That'd be cool.
Yeah, or even like Skull Ball or something like that from Halo would be a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
There's a
Dude,
lot of
there's like so
possibilities
many
with that.
things they could make. Yeah, there's literally so many. And I wonder what is going to be like the biggest one out of them all that comes out.
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole lot of different things that come out, and I mean, of course, there's gonna be the more popular ones that the cream of the crop that rise to the top, if you will. And I'm very curious to see what people are gonna come up with, and not to mention what the community is gonna roll with, because the you had mentioned the Fortnite thing, and to be honest with you, it kind of surprised me the things that the community was, fixated on for some reason and playing the most of. So I'm curious to see what Ark is going to be like.
Yeah, and I just wonder, like, you think that will technically be considered like a premium type of mod that you'll have to pay for?
I would expect it to be. I would honestly think it would be that, or a paid DLC of some sort. That has to be paid for. That can't be free. That's too cool, if you will, to be free.
That's fair. Honestly, I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of work. It's pretty much like developing another game.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I don't understand about it. I mean, I don't get coding. We've been over this a million times, but I don't understand how you do something like that and basically create an entire brand new game. I feel like that would be so much time, like hours and hours worth of effort to get it straight without messing it up. So I mean, I would love to talk to somebody and pick their brain about how the heck that happens and how does that compare time wise to, because I
Hmm.
know major graphical updates and major content updates like Scorched Earth in the center and stuff, that's a huge project that has taken a long time. So how long will these projects take in comparison, and how do they do X versus Z faster? You know what I mean? I have so many questions.
You know what? That's kind of something to think about too, because, like, for example, what if somebody makes like a whole, we'll just say like a whole nother arc inside of an arc, and they do it better, or like I don't know if you'd call it better, but they like do it quicker. Like, do you think that like could earn them a job at Wildcard or what?
That's a great question. I would like to think so, that, Wildcard would be clever to, employ the people that are that skilled with the system and have that much knowledge of the coding and stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
you would be silly not to take advantage of that, but also, they have a whole lot of really talented people under their belt already. So, do they have room for more people? I mean, you can't just cut one job to hire somebody else who did it quicker. I feel like that would
Yep.
be unethical.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I agree. They already have some good people working there, but you would think they would always need more people, like especially for such a big game like Ark. I would assume they need more people. So, fair warning, I'm not trying to get anyone fired. I'm just saying I'm assuming they need more people.
If anything, we're trying to get people hired. Us. Hire us, Wildcard.
Yeah. If you want to work for Wildcard, make sure you contact them at Survive the Ark on Twitter. And if you want to get recruited by them, just make sure you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a little tough to get a job if you don't qualify for that job. So that's step number one.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man. So, kind of moving on here to the next thing, unless there's anything you really got to say about that.
No, no, I'm ready.
Yeah. The next thing is custom cosmetics. Okay, so this says we're introducing an upgrade cosmetic system. Wow, letting players forge their own visual masterpieces for structures, costumes, and more. Best of all, they can be used on any server without the need for servers to download a mod. It can all happen under the hood of your client, including on official servers. So decorate your bases and suit up how you'd like. In a later update, these custom visuals will automatically download in the background while you explore. So get ready to discover these fresh surprises on structures, items, and characters every time you venture around the Ark.
This is huge. This is the themes that we talked about in an earlier episode, and in some of the comments for the community questions, we had received mentions of like people talking about wanting, samurai style buildings, Viking style buildings. That this right here is the step to that. This is the bridge for those concepts into reality. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think, I've never been like necessarily a big cosmetics person, but recently with playing a tiny bit more PvE, like the cosmetics do make things look awesome. And honestly, I think people could come up with like some ridiculous things. So I'm, like you said, like samurai, Vikings, like is this going to be easier than having to like do it from scratch or whatnot? Because we've seen like Nakatis, uh, whatever, we've seen him be able to do the like Dwarven builds and stuff, or like the Dwarven structures, different things. Like, so what else can you add to this? You know?
Yeah, that's very true. Honestly, I think that this is going to open the door for a lot of crossovers. I think you're going to see Star Wars packs. I think you're going to see Walking Dead packs.
Oh,
I think you're going to start seeing these pop culture references. And who knows, maybe you'll see I meh, RIP to the Green Bay Packers season. Want to, take a second to pour one out for the folks who didn't make it that far in the playoffs. And the Lions killing it. So Michiganders unite. I gotta
the
jump
Lions.
over to the Lions and say you could even see like a Detroit Lions skin pack or something like that. Your favorite team could have their own skin pack, and how cool would it be to see a Rex or a Giga just come traipsing through the forest wearing a Lions jersey or a Packers jersey?
Man, honestly, you intrigued me a lot with the Star Wars one. You imagine carrying around like a sword that's actual lightsaber?
Dude, it would be. I would assume if you're a clever cookie like that, it wouldn't be too hard to augment the tech sword to turn it into a lightsaber. I mean, it's already an energy sword from Halo
Ooh, you're
combined with
right.
a lightsaber combined with, X, Y, and Z here.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, I didn't even think about that.
But I'm also not in charge of that because I am not one of those clever cookies. And I do not know how that works.
That's fair. Neither am I. Yep, me neither.
What
So
what
I don't know.
is
I think, but custom.
what do you think is the price point going to be for those? Because like we talked about them potentially being microtransactions and stuff like that. So what do you think the price point for a skin pack is going to be? Do you think we're looking comparable to like the way Fortnite has done it?
Mm, I don't know. I find it hard because at first my original thought was that it would probably cost no money because it'd be like different creators making it, right? But you've kind of I switch gears a little bit when I start thinking about the Scorched Earth pack, which we will talk about later or soon. And now that costs money, I think it really just all depends. It depends on who creates it, to be honest, unless they force them. Because they really might like I would say force these creators or like ask them, be like, hey, we're gonna automatically just charge a $5 fee, and I'm assuming Art gets some money back from that. I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm saying like a $5 fee if anything, or free.
Yeah. I would like to think that they're going to be free and it would just be in the mod store the way other mods have been, but with the way the world has turned in the world of video gaming and EA has just poisoned everybody's minds that it makes me nervous that we're going to see the microtransactions. Ugh.
Yeah, and I do understand that. To be honest, I understand where you're coming from. I think a lot of people have struggled with the like they feel like Ark's becoming microtransactions. They feel like Ark's becoming pay to win, which is definitely something I want to dive into. Just so, like we're almost there, and I do want to dive into that a little bit later.
Okay.
So the
Well,
next thing up on our list here is going to be premium mods. What it says is spice things up with our brand new premium mod initiative. Launching on January 31st, these high quality mods, moderated by CurseForge and Wildcard, look to add a new layer of excitement to your Arc experience. So these are things that, CurseForge, which we talked about in the episode a long time ago. Like, I think it was like episode 5 or 6, right? But we talked about it a long time ago. And CurseForge is very good at what they do. And they're teaming up with a wild card. There could be so many amazing things. That's just, I don't know. I know it's gonna, we gotta pay for these premium mods, but this is like they say. I think it's gonna spice things up a little bit.
absolutely. I think I can go on my high horse for microtransactions all day, but it is definitely the way to spice things up. And in a game where None of us quit, we just take extended breaks. It is important to be able to spice it up. You're going to come back, you're not going to quit. I love you guys all to death, but as an Ark player, I know as well as you do that you don't quit, you just take breaks. So if you need to mix it up, you're finding yourself burnt out, go check out our burnout episode. And if that's still not helping it, then these premium mods I really think are probably going to mix it up enough that there's going to be at least a couple that I buy. You know, I'm going to ramble on and on and on, but the moral of the story is there's probably a couple that I'll still buy.
That's fair. I just wonder, I'm thinking now, like, what premium mods could they add that have not been added yet, right? Because they haven't added these premium mods. They've been working on them from what it sounds like with Curse Forge. Like, what will make them better than mods that have already been released? Or what will make them actually worth it to buy?
To me, it's got to be something big, 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 like an entire new map or some. It's got to be something real special, you know, like the Jurassic World, that game, you know, the little base building one or park building, I guess. That game, the only mod or the only like DLCs that they could release were large packs, and people were paying money for the things that were a pack of 15 to 20 dinos. But people aren't gonna pay for a premium mod that's one or two things. They're not gonna pay for a premium mod that's not. It's got to be at least a map or something cool. You know what I mean? You gotta earn the money.
Yeah. Yeah, but I find it very hard for people maybe wanting to buy these because we've already got all these things. Like we have, we've seen Ice Age, like Nakatis again, he like has his own maps and building their own maps. Like so I don't know what else you could add. Yeah, you can add some dinos, some cool things like that. But other than that, like I just don't see what you can really add.
Yeah, I I would have to sit there and like seriously brainstorm to try to figure it out. I guess I'm just gonna leave it up to time and say I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like. I'm cautiously optimistic, and I am really hopeful that it's going to bring the life that we're all hoping. Because the community is struggling right now, you know? We all need a little something, something.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing is I don't know necessarily like I said, I don't know what you could add, but I think there are ways like you said maybe if you sit down and think about it that they could add and make like they said spice things up a little bit. So, let's I'm still eagerly waiting cuz I do think they will be able to as smart people that they are and that's their job. They can definitely come up with these things. But I just can't
Absolutely.
think of them.
Like we say, people way smarter than us.
So, literally. So we got up next is transfers. Okay, so transfers were slated already to be for January. I can't remember, but they said they had a few kinks to iron out in the transfer system, so they had to move the date back to January 31st. Once enabled, players will be able to download items and creatures onto the map without any restrictions at all. So, typical wildcard fashion, got it delayed a little bit, but honestly, they didn't delay it too long, and it's better to delay it's better to delay if it's not fully ready.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd much rather you delay it than release something that's going to result in us all getting our characters deleted and our dinos deleted and all the people that busted tail to get to level, 110, 115 and have it all deleted on the first transfer. That would be heartbreaking. So I would so much rather they wait.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, and I think PvP players, like, I think some are disappointed in this, but I think some are actually very happy because, like we've talked about previously, like these console players, I don't know if they necessarily got enough time to challenge these PC players or even enough rates to challenge the PC players. So this gives the console players just like another week or so, kind of build up what they need to build up. Yes, it technically it's PC another week also, but it gives console tiny bit more time to catch up. So I think some PvPers are happy and some are not happy. But for PvE, it does, affect the trade system and being able to trade off server. That's kind of the only thing that I see that it affects for PvE though.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The trading game is really what people are bummed about. So I get that, and that's, something that I'm bummed about too, and I was really looking forward to it as well. But I think that at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, this is good for the game, and it's going to be good for the community to wait it out.
I agree. I don't see a reason that I would disagree with that.
All good things come to those who wait, and I think this is one of those cases where people would be much more thankful that they waited at the end of the day as opposed to if they sat there and, rushed it out and the ugh, I'm over here cringing just thinking about all the things in the past of what did happen and what could happen and all the wyverns that disappeared and all the survivors that disappeared. We had tribe mates that quit playing for like a year at a time because their high level person just all of a sudden disappeared when they went to transfer servers.
Yeah, and that's why I'm happy they're gonna wait.
Good times, good times. Yeah, I'm happy as
Literally,
well.
or when people start, they figure out ways to dupe, and hopefully all that is patched. And I think that's probably why they're waiting, is they figured those things out.
I'm hoping, but unfortunately, it seems like with the duping community, the people that are going to do that are unfortunately resourceful enough and don't dedicate their time and their brain power to good. So, unfortunately, as soon as you patch one way, they're going to find another way. It's one of those
Yep.
battles that I don't know if it is possible to beat it at the end of the day, as sad as it is to say, just because it seems like there's so many ways to exploit the coding. I mean, it's got so many strings of code to this game that there's just so many little spots in the armor that you can try to break through.
Mhm. So honestly, I didn't even notice this when I first read it, but at the bottom of the transfers, it says we will also launch some fresh non-transfer official PvP servers at this time, and we'll share more info on those prior. So it's kind of like, to me, like when unofficial servers do beginner maps. Like you get to start fresh and then eventually be able to transfer down the road. I mean, everyone's gonna be way ahead of you, I think, but so I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, everybody will be ahead of you in the long run, but on that server, you'll have a pretty fresh ground. You'll be able to get, day one spots. You'll be able to be somebody who can coin the market of that server and be the OG and establish that name for yourself. There's a lot of positives that come with being one of the first people on a server that I could see being attractive enough to make it worth your time.
That's fair, honestly. So the moment we've all been waiting for, really, or everyone's probably been waiting for if you're listening this far, is going to be the Frontier Adventure Pack is now going to be releasing a creature called the Oasisaur. Matt, have you read anything on this at all?
I started to, and then my kids decided to have an absolute conniption. So, if you would be so kind as to fill me in on what I didn't get a chance to finish reading, that would be great.
So, the turtle, whatever that, the Megaloshan or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what I will say this creature is pretty much the Megaloshan. You can build stuff on it. It says as a gentle giant, stands as a living sanctuary, offers protection to all creatures in its vicinity with its unique ability to create a safe haven. It shields players from environmental threats, hostile creatures. Though it offers very little defense against players, the majestic creature offers a beacon of tranquility on this scorching earth. So it's going to be coming out with Scorched Earth, but you can like build a whole base on this thing, and in the background there's some of them flying. Like this creature is flying, and you like I said, it's coming with the Frontier Adventure Pack with the skins and the train. So you do have to buy this.
Oh, I'm not surprised by that. That's it sounds
Me either.
absolutely amazing, and I think it's really cool. I think it's really practical for the PvE aspect because I mean, the way that it described it as, it protects you from the environment, it protects you from hostile dinos, but it does not protect you from other players. So that right there tells me it's going to have a very limited use for PvP.
Yep.
So I mean, I see this being a PvE powerhouse. I also am not surprised that it's going to be locked behind a paywall, and I don't know. I looked at it very differently until we interviewed Chips last week, and he sort of put it into perspective of like, you're used to paying for this stuff, but it just normally comes with a different map. So I mean, I get it. I get it. It's a big enough content pack that I I still think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it sucks that it's going to put such a big gap for the pay to win stuff, but I mean, like he said, normally somebody in your tribe mate's going to buy the DLC anyway, and you guys are going to go get that stuff and bring it back. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a very interesting change of pace to the game. I'm expecting it to introduce a whole new level of, hospitality for the desert. So, I think that it's going to put a new layer of gaming, or a new layer of, like, fun into the desert, because that's a trash map, to be honest with you.
It's true. Honestly, it Scorched Earth needed something to be able to kind of help it out a little bit. I think, like you said, EVP, this dino seems like it's going to be very useless. So, like, all these pay to win people, honestly, I don't think it's really pay to win because, yeah, you have to pay for it, but for PvP, it's not anything crazy. Yeah, PvE, like you said, it affects it a little bit, but it just makes it interesting. And like we said before, like, when we kind of talked to Chips, like, we already kind of do that. Like, when we bought the Aberration DLC, you can only get that on that map. So it's like, we kind of have already done that, but it's just, I don't think people are looking at it that way because all they think about is Wildcards just wants me to pay everything. They just are so greedy about their money. Not saying that they just gotta, they're finding ways to figure things out.
Man, if anybody thinks that if anybody thinks that Wildcard is like super greedy, money grabbing, like, wait until you hear about EA. Wait until you hear about Ubisoft. I'm gonna blow your mind.
All the big wigs.
I really don't think that it's unreasonable, with the game only being $40 to begin with. The way that I look at it is, you still got me for 30 somewhere. Goodness, sorry, I got crap in my throat. With the game being only $40, the way I look at it, you still got me for 30 somewhere. Most games are 70, so I feel like $30 worth of DLC is honestly probably going to be a fair investment.
Yeah, I understand that too. So, something that I kind of did want to bring up with this topic, though, is that I've heard a thing that, if you buy this, somehow Ark's going to be able to add that you can, like, it's like a blockage, right? So, for example, if you bought it, only you could use it because you bought it. And if I didn't buy it, I wouldn't be able to use it at all because it would only be locked for your account.
Absolutely. Yep. God, it's gonna. I do this all the time. There's another game that did something very, very similar to that. I can hear the character's voice. I can see it right now. But if you didn't have the DLC for that game, what it would do is, like, you'd go to access the gun or whatever the equipment was that was for the DLC, and he would just go to pick it up and he'd be like, what the heck is this? And he just wouldn't understand how to operate it. So I could see them doing something very similar to that, where your character just can't quite understand how to operate the saddle, can't understand how to operate the train or anything like that. It could be very, very foreign. Think about, in terms of lore, think about Mei Yin. She was from China. What was it? Between, I don't remember, 700, something like that. Way, way, way back in early day China. She would be confused as heck seeing a train, probably.
Yeah, that is honestly that is true. Yeah, I don't know. I could see them doing that. I don't think they will do that, but who knows?
I don't think it would be a bad idea. I think that it would definitely incentivize more people to buy it. It would be the only thing that would stop a tribe of 20 would just need one person in their tribe to purchase the thing. So, I mean, it would definitely put a stop to that.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Because, I mean, look at it in terms of Scorched Earth. What is the one thing everybody wants from Scorched Earth? Wyverns. So if you want wyverns, then that means you need one person on your tribe to go get 2 poison wyverns, 2 lightning wyverns, and 2 fire wyverns, and then you are all done.
Yeah, that's true. Huh. That's something I didn't even think about.
The more you know.
The more you know. So, that's like really the biggest topic right now is that. And, like I said, a lot of the community was like, pay to win, do this, do that. Like, it's not, though. People are taking it so out of proportion.
Yeah, unfortunately, the the community has, I love you all to death, but the community sometimes has a habit of almost looking for the negatives, looking for things to be grumpy about sometimes. And I feel like that's one of those cases where people are just looking for something to be grumpy about because business wise, I get where they're coming from in all of this stuff. I hate microtransactions as much as the next guy, but even I get where they're coming from with all this stuff. So, I mean, I don't think it's a bad business choice. I just think that people are still so salty about the way things went down at the beginning of the release and the way things were going down with, Ark the Animated Series, Ark 2, all these things that we're not getting answers for and weren't getting answers for. I think people are just sort of continuing to channel that frustration.
That's fair, honestly. And I think that these people probably will just always continue their frustration just because, I mean, that's how some people are.
True. And I mean, have you ever read like some of the reviews for Ark? There
I have
are
not,
a
to be
hand
honest.
Man, there are a handful of survival evolved reviews that if you go through, you'll see them all the time on Reddit and TikTok and stuff like that, where somebody will be like, at the time of review, the person has 2,000 hours put into the game, and all this game is trash. This is absolute worthless, complete waste of your time, buggy, laggy, absolute piece of crap. And then current time in the game 6,800 hours. So like they reviewed it horribly and then put an extra 4,000 hours into it. Like that's Ark in a nutshell. So the people that are complaining, like you're still playing it, so I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's fair. So, in some other news, kind of, was that, Arc is now on wiki.gg. It used to be, what did it used to be? I don't think it used to be. I think it just used to be whatever a wiki, like a arc.fandom.com is now arc.wiki.gg. So, I mean, it's just a little, it's an upgrade for the community wiki. I mean, which is cool. It's just a new kind of, user interface type thing, but I still think it's cool.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't had a chance to mess with it or explore it or, confirm or deny one way or the other, but usually those changes are good and usually they're in the way of making a more user friendly interface. So if that's the case, I am all for user friendly.
Me too. So, Matt, um, some things that's kind of been mentioned is Overwolf is doing like a stream, which is it says, "Are you interested in modding for Ark? Here's your chance to dive in. Our seasoned modding expert Garaga123 will be going live with Overwolf on Twitch to guide you through the creative process. Mark your calendars for Saturday, January 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific, and let's build something amazing."
Ooh.
It's cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. There's a lot of potential going on here. So I'm not entirely sure what that's going to entail. I'm going to have to tune in to try to, get a better view for it. Hopefully we can talk about it a little bit more after we've had a chance to watch it. But
I guess, like I said, I won't be able to watch that. I'm doing stuff, but I mean, hopefully I can at least tune in for a tiny bit and be able to maybe watch something cool. I don't know.
yeah.
But something really quickly that I wanted to just do in the middle of this episode is I want to call out Slipgator. I know that man is sailing on a boat somewhere. We talked about it with Chips, but if somehow we could get Slipgator on here, that would be awesome, and I think it'd blow up everything. That man is an Ark legend, and it'd just be very cool. And imagine if, like, I don't know if King Daddy DMAC listens to this, but imagine if we could get Slipgator and DMAC in the same podcast. Like, they were the duo back in the day, right? Like, that'd be awesome. I don't know. That'd
Dude.
be awesome. I just had to call him out.
To reunion tour, if we could get both of them on here just to, sit back and hear the two of them catch up and the the history between them. There's a lot of really fun stories that I would love to hear.
Yeah, I agree. And I'd honestly just like to know what Slipgator's up to and what he's been up to. Maybe he's playing games on a boat. I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe he's on a boat listening to two
Never know.
Michiganders ramble about dinosaurs.
Hey, you never know. But no, other than that, Matt, we've kind of been cooking up something a little bit, and I kind of want you to explain that to the people what we've been a little bit of cooking up here.
Talk about the Patreon?
Yes, sir.
So it's always weird as a content creator to sit here and be like, hey, give us money. And that's not what we're trying to do, but, at the end of the day, we're making a Patreon. So, hey, give us money. I'm just kidding. But seriously, we are making a Patreon, and we are attempting to, we're always trying to improve our content creation. We're trying to be able to afford, a capture card for my Xbox to be able to upload better videos for you guys, to be able to improve microphones and our digital audio workstations, and all these things we would like to improve and make better for your listening experience to be better. But it costs money, and in this economy, that's tough. So we are going to introduce a paid tier system where you guys are able to totally, at your own leisure, your own discretion, sign up for these different tiers. And by donating to us and to the cause of making the listening experience better, you guys will get different bonuses and buffs and stuff. Of course, each tier will come with a different rank in the Discord, so you guys will be able to flaunt your status as a Patreon member. And we're not going to announce anything too specific yet because, we're trying to iron out the details and make sure it's all a good value as well as something that we can consistently give you guys. But it's going to be, along the lines of ad-free episodes, unedited episodes, maybe video episodes if that's something you guys would be interested in, early release, being put in for our monthly giveaways that we're going to start doing. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff. And once we get it all ironed out, we'll post it in the Discord. The people in the Discord will get to know first. And then we will also update it in a future episode. So if you're not in the Discord, the quickest way to get that information so that way you're not missing out on this bonus content and all the cool stuff that are coming with it would be to join our Discord. The links are below. But if that's not something, not everybody has Discord. So if that's not something that you're able or willing to do, then just sit tight. And in the next couple weeks, we're going to get it all ironed out. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, honestly, I'm excited for it. But like Matt said, honestly, we're not pressuring you to do it at all. Nothing like that. We don't want to pressure you to pay. Like, if you don't pay, we still love you, no matter what you do, as long as
Absolutely.
if you listen, interact, whatever it is. Money's not everything. We're not doing it, like Matt said, we're not doing it for the money. But we're just kind of making it just because if you want to support, you can. It's up to you guys. We're not going to pressure you guys to do it.
Absolutely. But I mean, that being said, like we said, stay tuned. In the next couple weeks, we'll have those specific details for you, and hopefully there's something on there that you guys will find of great value, and we'll persuade you guys to help chip into enhancing our audio quality, because that's always a fun little technical thing.
That is always a fun little technical.
What else do we have today, sir?
I feel like we have to, address this. Is we have the amazing assistant community manager at Survive the Ark join our Discord. That's just awesome. I just have to say that's amazing. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the controlled chaos. I think it's pretty nifty.
Well, but for real, we appreciate you joining.
Yeah, it says a lot to us to know that this is a game that we love. Our passion lies within this game. The work that is done by Wildcard is fantastic, and to know that a member of the community that created this game for us actually, gives a hoot about what we have to say, that's absolutely awesome. So we're tickled pink that you're here, and we hope that it is the start of something great,
Yeah, definitely. And just, kind of going off that topic a little bit, if you listen this far, as always, thank you very much. But second off, I'm calling out everyone that is listening to this podcast right now. I'm calling you out because I want you to answer our question on our Spotify if that's what you listen through. And you know what? If you don't listen through the Spotify, message us on Discord and make sure that you answer that question. It's going to be a good question. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We will figure that out by the end of the episode. But I'm telling you, I'm calling you all out to answer right now because we want some answers on that thing.
Yeah, it is. It's always fun to hear what you guys have to say. And, I write a question every week just because I love to pick your guys' brain and hear all the fun things that you guys have to say. And that being said, if it's, not something everyone's interested in, that's cool. I'm still going to post it, though, because we always have at least one person who gives a hoot. And I will let you have one guess who that is, Jericho.
Yes, it's the man Sonic Speed, the man Hail Hydra, but guess what?
What?
He didn't say Hail Hydra this time.
Ooh, because he knows we know. He's been so faithful and loyal that he just knows we know.
That's true. No, but what he said was direwolves was his. Our question was, what is your favorite dinosaur? His thing was direwolves. I've tamed over 50 direwolves on single player and tamed a level 250 direwolf on a PVE server. It died, though. I guess a direwolf is technically not a dinosaur. It's a mammal. So a raptor.
Okay, touche. I don't care if it's a dinosaur or not. A direwolf still counts, and it's a fantastic answer, dang it. So I am here for it, man. Good answer. And we appreciate you as always for just answering in the first place. What a legend.
Yes. And I will say it for you because it wasn't in your thing. Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
No, but we had another person, Spoof Webbers. Spoof Webbers replied. He said, Sarcos are not the greatest, but I love them.
Man. Okay. So Sarcos are pretty solid. I like them a lot too, just for the simple fact that they're so darn close to alligators right now. So if you look at an alligator, you look at a Sarco, go back and look at real skeletons and just the science between the two of them. They are really, really cool. So I like Sarcos too because I like to think that I've seen one, even though I haven't, but they're just so close to alligators. I like to think that I have.
That's fair, honestly. I do agree. They are pretty close to alligators. Honestly, Sarcos aren't terrible. They're not my favorite, or, by any means of that matter. They annoy me. But they're better than the stupid Caprasuchuses or Succuses, whatever they're called. Yeah. Those things are absolutely atrocious. So thank you for picking Sarcos over that.
put in the sucking caprosukis. I can't stand those things.
Nope, me neither.
So thank you so much to the two of you that answered this week. We really appreciate that. Let's see. Do you have a community question off the top of your head, or should we pull one off the riff here?
So, the only one that I was kind of thinking of was maybe, you asked a question earlier if people would like a video podcast. That could be the question, or, just kind of something like maybe what would you like to see in the Patreon if it was a thing?
Yeah. What do you want to see in the Patreon? Since we're talking about that and we're still trying to iron that out, what do you want to see in, because we're going to have a $1 tier, a $5 tier, $10, and $20. And we're trying to balance it out to make sure, the $1 is going to be our undying love and affection, and the $20, we're trying to figure out how to make that worth your time. We're trying to figure out if that should just be, the same as the $10, but with like our extra, a Bugs Bunny style kiss on the face. I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. So what do you want to see in the Discord or in the Patreon? How can we make that the best value to you? What do you want? What do you want? Shucks, man. Feel like we're getting to be that time. Do you have anything else that you want to add this week, or are you relatively content?
I'm pretty content with what we're doing, and I just want them to know that we do have some creators lined up. But if you guys have anybody, you think we should interview, as always, leave a thing. And as always, continue leaving Discord comments on like episodes that you guys think we should do. We will get to them as soon as we can. So the ones that have been submitting in there, thank you guys so much. And we really appreciate you guys. Or if you ever want to be on the podcast, just message us. We'd love to just chat Ark with you and just have a good time.
Yeah, I want to officially say, I don't know if we ever messaged him or not, but Hop put a not so subtle hint into the Discord, like if you ever wanted to get a small content creator, that he was a real shoe-in. And you know what? You're not a small content creator. You're big in our hearts, and we would love to get you on here one day, bud. So I know you're going to hear this. You're a pretty faithful listener, so make sure you send one of the two of us a message, and we'll try to figure out a week where you can come in and a topic that you're comfortable with. We'll be able to have you come in as a third co-host, and we'd love to have you, man.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think you'd be an awesome addition to just have and chat with you. I feel like you got a lot to say. And like Matt said, you've been a loyal supporter, and we really appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. And Knack, too. I want to give a huge shout out to Knack, because our base would probably just despawn if it weren't for Knack. Shout out to Knack, who has been the gatherer, the breeder, the tamer, the legend, and the tribe leader for the past, 5-6 days.
And literally, that man's been doing it all by himself. So Knack, thank you very much. We really do appreciate you.
Yeah, all jokes aside, you are a king, and we really do appreciate you. Could not be doing it without you. So everybody who's currently in the tribe, you guys are fantastic. Love you guys. Miss you guys. I promise I'm not playing with you. It's just, classes have me real tired, and I just want to catch my pretend Pokemon in Pal World. Let's see. Think it's about that time, Big Hoss?
Yeah, man, it's about that time that I get my little last word in here. So thank you all very much for listening. As always, it is appreciated if you guys made it this far. I know a lot of you guys have been loyal, so thank you guys very much. And remember to go join the Discord. Go check out our YouTube, TikTok. I've been still posting every day. Well, we have still been posting every day on YouTube. And just make sure you guys go join. We appreciate the support as always. Thank you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. We will see you next week.
See you later, Beach Bobs.
Brr, brr, brr.